Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. From Fox News. The View, our favorite show, tongue-in-cheek, of course, assails Supreme Court's Thomas Barrett as traitors to their race and gender. Yeah. Joy Behar put women in air quotes when discussing Barrett, called Thomas to the right of Attila the Hun. Clarence Thomas is a race traitor. When are people going to understand these progressive Democrats are the racists? They're calling Thomas a race traitor because of the fact they think all black people should think alike. That, by definition, is racism. They think all women should think alike. That, by definition, is sexism. Period. When are people going to start calling these morons out? And I'll tell you the truth, I'm saddened because years ago, I thought Whoopi Goldberg was incredibly talented. Funny as hell. What the hell happened to these people? Did Trump break all their minds? All of them? The View got personal on two Republican-appointed Supreme Court justices on Thursday, calling Clarence Thomas doesn't really represent the black community. Yeah, look at the idiot that said that. Well, you don't represent the black community either, and neither does Whoopi. Who the hell elected you? All the black people in the country have an election that nobody knew about? That appointed you? Or a celebrity? Or a movie star? Or a sports figure? Anybody, a billionaire, anybody. Nobody appointed you to represent the black people because they don't all think alike. You are a racist. It's that simple. The daytime gab fest, that's being kind, opened with a conversation about Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer's looming retirement, which they forced him into, which was made public before he even decided, and he was pretty mad from what I gather. They forced him out. One of the longest-serving members on the Supreme Court. Whether he leans left or not is a different issue entirely. They forced him out to push their agenda. They promised to put in a black woman, or I should say non-white woman, on the Supreme Court. That is racist. When are these morons going to get it? Are they that broken? What's the phrase? City, urban, liberal types? Well, you know what that acronym spells? Cult. These people are in a cult. Let's read on. Breyer's looming retirement, which put a spotlight on President Biden's promise to nominate a black woman if given the chance to fill a seat. The panelists know the lack of diversity on the high court throughout history, which has only had two black men ever, which Austin chimed in with a dig at Thomas. He doesn't really represent the black community. Neither do you, you idiot. He never claimed to. Never even implied it. He is there to protect the Constitution of the United States and indirectly its citizens. Unbelievable. Because these people think all non-white people think the same. When are people going to finally get it? None of Austin's fellow panelists asked a follow-up or asked her to elaborate on the apparent jab at Clarence Thomas, who was nominated by George H.W. Bush. Probably the only amazing thing he ever did. I have more respect for the old man than I did the son, but Clarence Thomas was a perfect choice. And it was Joe Biden. Joe Biden as a senator to try to get him to quit, and he wouldn't do it. And there's videos all over the place with a disgusted look on his face that the more they threw at Clarence Thomas, the more he fought back. Uppity, uppity, uppity is basically what their attitude was. An uppity black man. He should be grateful for the scraps we give him. You know what? F you. Austin wasn't the only liberal pundit to discuss Thomas' race in recent memory. Will Biden nominate the first black female justice? Will Supreme Court Breyer set to announce his retirement? The View reacts after the White House stood by President Biden's pledge. Later in the show, Joy Behar and Thomas said Thomas was right till the Attila the Hun and was named to the court to go against voting rights. Yeah, George H.W. Bush they put Clarence Thomas there to go against voting rights, is what he does, Behar said. The woman's an idiot. I mean, I'll give Whoopi Goldberg, I think what she says is idiotic too, but she's not stupid. Joy Behar is stupid by any definition and any measure. Let's take a look at what happened on their Twitter account. You want to see this video? Listen to this.
Amy Coney Barrett was put in there because she's a white woman who they say, well, she'll go against abortion rights, and she's a woman. So that was deliberate, I think. You know, you could make the case that somebody like Amy Coney Barrett was put in there because she's a white woman who they say, well, she'll go against abortion rights, and she's a woman. So that was deliberate.
Air quotes that you're a woman. How about you, Joy? How many kids do you have? I don't think you have any. Amy Coney Barrett, I believe, has 8. Some adopted, some were her and her husband's, naturally. And guess what, Joy, you ass? They're not all white either. She's a devout Roman Catholic. Gee, they just picked her because she's a devout Roman Catholic, or she believes in the Constitution of the United States. Yes, she is anti-abortion. So the F what? Her views do not necessarily go along with the law is. I don't think Roe v. Wade will be struck down. You'll be surprised. Just because something is legal doesn't mean it's moral, i.e. slavery and women not voting. You jerk.
I think. Clarence Thomas, a black guy, a black man.
A black guy in quotation marks. So he's not really a black guy because he doesn't think like you think blacks should think. Remember, all blacks think the same. How about all blacks have rhythm too? Remember that stupidity? These people are the racists. When are people going to catch on? Are the so-called cult members? These city urban liberal types? The cult members, are they that twisted and brainwashed? Probably. Let's listen on to this stupidity. I'll stop interrupting.
And a justice, okay, I'll give it to him. He's a smart guy. But he is to the right of Attila the Hun, this guy. And they put him in there thinking, oh, a black man will go against voting rights, which is what he does.
And it was a terrible...
And it's a very tricky business they're pulling over there when you think about it. Not to mention the fact that Mitch McConnell has no concept of the law when it comes to the Supreme Court.
They know the law. They're not following it. Well, they don't.
All right, Whoopi, nobody asked her. They're not following it. What law aren't the Republicans following when it comes to the Supreme Court? Name one law they're not following.
Want to follow.
No, and he's allowed to not follow it.
It's terribly disrespectful to appoint someone like Clarence Thomas with his philosophies to the seat of Thurgood Marshall, a civil rights.
I know.
Yes.
And
it was
also
with
his
wife right there.
With his wife's...
It's disrespectful to put a constitutional judge on the Supreme Court. You ass. You ass. Even Thurgood Marshall, rest his soul, I give him a lot of credit. It came out from nothing, and so did Clarence Thomas, by the way. It came up from nothing. Lived in a shack where there was a ditch out front that you went to the bathroom in because they didn't have an indoor toilet. So don't tell me about disrespectful
activities involving the insurrection.
Let's not even get into that because that's
really
the whole show. And all we have to do is start talking about her, and we'll be here the rest.
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Not today. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Oh, no, you won't be right back. You're an ass. You are an ass. Joy Behar is too stupid to understand. Whoopi isn't. Let's get back to the article. And MSNBC's Joy Reid called Thomas Uncle Clarence, which is a relationship to Uncle Tom in the book that was written in the South. I'm trying to remember the name of it now. Sometimes these things slip your mind. Uncle Tom's Cabin. That's it. Well, you know the ironic part is? Uncle Tom in that book is the hero, you dumbass. It's the other slave, I forget his name, that snitched on slaves that ran away so he could get favor with his master. Uncle Tom gave up his life to protect runaway slaves. So when you call a black man Uncle Tom, it's a compliment, you idiots. I can go on and on and on. I really don't want to. You know, let's just read this last paragraph. Uncle Clarence, during an Election Day panel discussion with Rachel Maddow and Nicole Wallace. Yeah, two of the most lily white people there are. Why don't we go there? And Representative Karen Bass from California suggests he was an authentic African-American voice because you are the racists. You think all black people think the same. Oh, gosh. They weren't done, however. Behar said Barrett, who was appointed last year to fill a vacancy left by the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, was likely put in there because she's a white woman who goes against abortion rights. That was deliberate, I think. Wake up, Democrats. Wake the F up. These people are the racists. These people are the racists. If you can't vote for a Republican because you're afraid you'll turn into a pillar of salt, just stop voting for Democrats. Write in a third-party candidate if there is one, or write your own name in. Or write in somebody you think would do a hell of a job. If you can't vote for Republicans, if you can't make your hand do it because you'll just die inside, your soul will be crushed, then don't vote for Republicans, but stop voting for Democrats. Wake the frick up. I don't know how The View survives. I really don't. Maybe because people just want to listen to their stupidity and it's more of a comedy thing. I really don't know. I pray that's the reason. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.